So the thing that interests me really, if I think about the shift to 2030, is we've only just got used to the idea of 2020, right? And we're arriving in 2020 with a muddled world where we've got the China thing, the China Trump thing, we've got the Hong Kong riots thing, we've got the Middle Eastern thing that we don't understand, and we've got this technology industry in California that we're not sure what it really is, because it's sold us these addictive products, smartphones, and all the addictive software, the dopamine, the fix that we get from, I must go back to, I must go back to. And we might be at the beginning of classifying the tech industry as tobacco and alcohol. And you know, despite all the carcinogenic effects of smoking and alcohol, people still consume those, despite the fact you can get cancer from both. What we don't know is whether the effect of this information overload from the technology, the notifications, the messages, the flood, the dopamine, the Instagram, the Twitter, the LinkedIn, the Facebook, the Snapchat, the WhatsApp, that flood, what we don't know yet is whether that makes us ill. At the same time, we've got this sort of underlying fear of being hacked or phished or broken into, or Google Home is spying on us, or Amazon Alexa is spying on us inside the house. And then we've got this sort of physical and mental shift to veganism, mindfulness, getting lots of sleep, resting, staying away from recreational drugs, and this kind of need to prepare our bodies and our minds for this information flood. And that's what really intrigues me. And so when you're on a board of directors and you're looking at this scary 2030, merging with machines, the singularity as Ray Kurzweil calls it, and this climate plan and this climate fear, we're all going to either, according to Greta, either burn or drown or freeze by 2030. That's not a very appealing 2030 we're looking out to. And then this swamping of technology this is why I think the tech companies might become the new tobacco and alcohol companies, accidentally, because there is a sense that the evil companies are the BPs and the Shells and the oil tankers and the jets and Boeing and British Airways. But you see, in their defense, they're just supplying energy to the demand. They're only putting those ships there because they've got those Amazon parcels on. They're only putting those planes there because people want to ride wherever they want to ride to. And BP and Shell are just supplying energy to the demand. The real demand of the power is the technology industry, charging the cloud, charging up the smartphones, charging up the servers. And the energy created by the internet industry, if you like, of the last 30 years, there's more power required now. If you go back to previous 1989, more power than used in the whole of history. The reason this took me into blockchain and crypto was I was thinking at some point the Google, the Amazon, the Facebook, the Twitter, the LinkedIn, the Apple, the Microsoft, at some point they're going to make a decision to pay you for your data. In the same way you're rewarded with your Nectar card or your BP Me card or any one of those reward cards from Sainsbury's or Tesco's or Waitrose. They're going to pay you for your clicks. And every click is a token, every token is a click. And then you accrue those tokens from your clicks on your desktop, on your mobile, in your car miles, and then you can spend those. Either you can spend those in the supermarket, or you can spend those on a flight, or you can spend those on clothes. But I really do believe that at some point, and I think it's round about 2023, 2024, they'll change the model and say, we'll pay you for all your data. And not really until you've got 5G live can you run that system worldwide on the blockchain, because it's not fast enough. And also you can't necessarily reward people in real time without 5G, because 5G is instant messaging, from a transaction to a car, from a transaction to a kiosk. It's got to be instant, so that the moment you step out your car and you've got your 50 Tesla miles or your 100 Mercedes miles, you can then get to the train station and purchase your train ticket with your Mercedes miles or your Tesla miles. So you have this dilemma, if you like, of the difference between 2020 now and 2030 then. And I like to position myself as a companion to walk with you to 2030. Bear in mind, in 2020, as a board member of publicly listed companies, you're driven by what the FCA say, the Financial Conduct Authority. And so I live in that world with the FCA and the FSA, and I live in that world with the 2030 world. So I like to walk across that bridge.